Down south, we got barbecue in our veins. Welcome back to Germanology. In this episode, as the intro indicated, I want to talk about a very serious topic of barbecue. So in the South, barbecue is very prevalent. So, and I am in the Southeast. If I go south about 100 miles of where I'm at, it becomes even more prevalent when I get out of the major metropolitan area of Atlanta. Let me tell you what, over the years, I've developed to be my philosophy of barbecue. How you consume barbecue, where you get barbecue, how you judge barbecue, etc. So let me jump into this, my philosophy on barbecue. So first and foremost, any barbecue joint should be judged by their pork butt. Number one, first and foremost. Number two, their Brunswick stew. And number three, their sauce. Now, they could have poor sauce and still have decent Brunswick stew and pork and still be a place that you would enjoy going. But if their pork is bad, who cares what their sauce is like? And if their Brunswick stew is bad, you might be able to do all right with the pork and a good sauce. But your trifecta is good pork butt, good Brunswick stew, and good sauce. And I would even go slightly farther with the sauce to say good selection of sauces. A really great barbecue place is going to give you some of the varieties that you will experience throughout the United States. You may get a vinegar based, you may get a mustard based, you could get more of a molasses brown sugary base, and you could get an Alabama white, which I'm violently opposed to, which is a mayonnaise based. But if they offer it, they offer it. I'm not going to eat it because it's disgusting. The next thing, and this is a word of advice for all of you barbecue people out there that have a barbecue restaurant. Always taste, for me, I always want to taste the barbecue before being sauced. So what that means to all of you that are in the restaurant biz, don't pre-sauce all the meat before you send it out to me. Give me the ability to sauce it to my desire, because I want to taste your barbecue. I want to taste either your pork or your brisket or your chicken. I want to taste it. I want to taste the bark, the rub that you've used. I want to taste the smoke. I want to see how it tastes. And then I want to apply the sauce and be able to select which sauce I like. When you pre-sauce it, you've already taken one of the options out of my hands of being able to select the sauce, but you've taken the second option out of my hand of being able to just taste the pork, the smoke, and the bark on the pork. Number three, in my assessment of barbecue, I would say if you want good barbecue, it's not going to be at a chain. Now, chains do have their purpose. It can satisfy an urge, satisfy a need, but in my world, that if I'm really have a hankering for good barbecue, I'm going to go to a relatively local place. Now, I will say that we have some local places that have chained. So there is a local barbecue place that was based on a chain over in Alabama, Birmingham, that has spread into Atlanta. That's decent because it is based on a local and it's not like a fast food, mass production kind of barbecue place. So I would say my preference is the small mom and pop joints, the places that have won awards. Check those places out. The next one, it should be less about the location and more about the product. What does that mean? That it can be a dive if their food is fantastic. In fact, I'll go one step further to say that I prefer to leave a barbecue place smelling like I've been to a barbecue place. So the smoker The smoke gets into my clothes. I go back to work. My coworkers know he's been to barbecue for lunch because I smell like I've been lingering in the smoker. I prefer that. I prefer it to be a bit of a dive, a little bit of a hole in the wall. I prefer to come out of there smelling like I've been in a smoker because that just is part of the experience for me. And finally, secondary considerations for things that help determine a good barbecue place. So I already qualified that your pork, your Brunswick stew, and your sauces are important. Secondarily are the other kinds of meats are important. Do they have brisket? Some places don't have briskets. Do they have ribs? Do they have chicken, smoked chicken? Do they have chicken fingers? It's not uncommon for a barbecue place to have some of the best chicken fingers around. What type of bread do they serve? One of the places that I used to go to locally served it on almost like a cornbread cake. I think they called it maybe a corn cake, a corn pancake made out of cornbread, and that's what you ate your barbecue on. Some use Texas toast, some use just plain white bread. That's important. That's a good consideration. One of the local places that I mentioned that came out of Alabama, they have a very popular sweet cheese muffin that they serve with their barbecue. And I'm a huge fan. The family loves those. So that's a good consideration. Also, a lot of your home cooking sides. So do they have mac and cheese? Do they have greens? Do they have black-eyed peas? Do they have okra? What are some of the sides that they have that can enhance? So check some of those out, because often if they're using the smoked meats, they can use that to make their greens. Sometimes they'll mix it bacon or ham in with their mac and cheese. Whatever, check out their sides and evaluate the total experience based on their barbecue and their sides. There you go. That is my philosophy on barbecue from a northerner that has moved south, that has acquired the taste, that loves barbecue, that gets a craving for barbecue, and has grown to appreciate good barbecue versus just chain barbecue, let's say. What are your thoughts? Do you have a decent barbecue place where you live? Do you only have a fast foodie type of chain? Let me know in the comments below. Let's share some of your thoughts on barbecue, smoking meats, etc. And we'll talk about some interesting topic next time on Germanology.